Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. And here comes the cat. She must be a Cancer. No, she was born in February. She's meowing in the hallway. I'm sorry. Right at the beginning of the reading. I always hope that it'll be later on. But here we go. And tonight we have, the Death card, Cancer. So don't worry. The Death card is not always a bad thing, right? It is an ending. That means that there is also a beginning. It's also sometimes most necessary. Sometimes the Death card shows up and we are in the process of kind of shedding things that no longer serve us. And sometimes, right, when we are trying to change and evolve and so on, we can get stuck. Right? It's like, you're going through your old clothes. You have all these, this is my problem. Have all these old band shirts and stuff. And you've been holding on to them for like 30 years. And you never wear them. But you can't let yourself, toss them or donate them or give them to somebody, and they just sit there in the drawer for years and years. And, sometimes then you go to take it out, you're finally gonna maybe look at it or wear it, and you find it has holes all through it. It's all falling apart. It's disintegrating, right? And so that would be the Death card. The universe says, well, we're going to take this now. You've been sitting on it for too long. Okay. Now we're going to see what are these tea leaves going to tell us today. And I want to say thank you so much for taking a chance, clicking on this reading. I know a lot of you have never seen tea leaf readings before. This might be your first time at the channel. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And if you're returning, I want you to know I appreciate you so much. You are wonderful. Thank you for coming back. Welcome. And here we go. So we have two people standing up here. We have one right here. You can see the head, the kind of the body. And over here here's the head, two arms kind of lifted up. We have the body kind of right here. And it almost looks to me like standing on top of a cat that's laying down. Almost looks like a cat with two heads. You can see one here. Here's the ears, right? There's an ear, eyes, nose, mouth, the kind of roundness of the head. And then over here we have, again, the ears, eyes, nose, kind of mouth down here, roundness of the head. And the larger body here. The arms would be kind of here. It's laying down, kind of just hanging out. And so immediately I think of like Durga, right? Kind of on the tiger or the lion. But the posture of especially this person, it looks like an offering. Somebody that is making an offering up to the sky, up to the gods, up to the goddess. But if you look closely, you can see it kind of looks like a bird, like a hummingbird, and maybe even a flower, holding a flower, and the hummingbird is coming by to check it out. Now, the hummingbird represents busyness, right? The flower, it is that nectar, that the thing that you are looking for in your work, right? That the sweet divine dew, right, of the subtle things. And the tiger, standing upon the tiger and the two-headed tiger as well, is really about mastering one's self, mastering your reactions, your moods, your your emotional output, maybe how you're feeling internally as well, but most of all, how you are interacting with the outside world, right? And I feel like this is it reminds me very much of the lovers, right? This sacred union. Now, I think that these are probably aspects of self rather than, your significant other, your spouse, or your partner, your companion, whoever that might be. I feel like this is the other part of yourself, your anima, your animus, this kind of balanced core aspect of you as an individual, right? And so I feel like this is a time where you are coming into the power that you've always had, but implementing it into your waking life, your daily life, your physical world, where you maybe have kind of spent a lot of your life hiding yourself, really, or at least not not sharing, right? Like when you're in one of those like meetings where they do icebreakers, or maybe it's like like in school when you had to stand in a circle or whatever, and everybody would say their name and like a word that also started with the same letter as your first name, that kind of thing. I feel like you maybe are a person that keeps it real short. You're not really into sharing too much about yourself with people. And I think that's probably generally people, acquaintances and in the public and, in your workspace and that kind of thing. But also probably a little bit within your family life, within your sacred relationships. Now, I don't think that it's like you're hiding anything. I also don't think that you're super shy either. I feel like you don't have the impulse, the drive to be super open, right? Not everybody needs to know everything about you, And I have to say though, I feel like in this period of time that we are coming into, I really feel like there is a change. There's like a shift happening. I feel like you are finding something in your life that makes you feel confident. Like you are getting really good at something, or maybe it's something you've been doing for a long time, and now you found a way to kind of share that with the world. Right? Maybe you're making art or music or, videos or, whatever it is, building cars or arranging beautiful bouquets of flowers. Whatever it is, this is kind of the thing that is going to be like that. It's going to be like that catalyst to get you more in the world, right? More connected with people, more willing to kind of talk about things, philosophize, discuss, your feelings about the work you're doing, how you, found the inspiration, what are the techniques and, all of this stuff. And instead of just kind of quickly glossing over most of it, I feel like you're ready to stand in your power and really kind of open yourself to maybe even strangers, right? But at least people that you are close to, that you love, right? People that you care for, people that maybe you've known for years, or maybe it's like people you spend a lot of time with at work or whatever it is. So I do feel you really coming into this place where the work, and it's a lot of work. You've been doing a lot of work. The work is paying off, okay? because you are becoming another you. I don't know that that's a better you or if that was your intention, but I feel like you're really going through this metamorphosis in your life right now. It feels like you are going through or have gone through recently kind of a rite of passage. Okay, so that might be with like your age. Maybe you're going into middle age, or maybe you're going into your elder years, or maybe it's like something like you decided to retire and you have more time now to kind of focus on your hobbies and your beloved things and really put your efforts into that. I'm so sorry about TT. There are people out there, right, with her. My husband's out there, my daughter. There are other people to hang out with, but she hears my voice. She wants in. I'm sorry. I should have closed the hallway up. So anyways, we're going to keep going. I want to see what else is going on here. We have some really beautiful formations here. So we have kind of the mountain. It looks like the side of the mountain, kind of this real beautiful incline right here. We have a person right here. You can see the head right here, the arm kind of extended out. Almost looks like they're lying down or maybe even kind of flying. I'm imagining kind of floating through the air in this like lying down position. Now at the top of the mountain, we have this large circle, and it does remind me a lot of maybe like the all-seeing eye, the pyramid with the eye towards the top, right? And I'm sorry, I had to take a drink there. But not exactly that, okay? It's not exactly that. What it feels like is this very bright illumination. And we know the mountain, it represents that most sacred journey, right? Now, if that's a hero's journey, if that is, kind of your spiritual journey, the journey up the holy mountain, right? One of a practitioner or an alchemist or some kind of initiate, an adept, a holy person of some kind. Whatever it is, I feel like in this life cycle that you're in this manifestation that you have chosen, you really are at the core of things working towards deeper and deeper understandings, right? I feel like you are very devoted to the mystery, right? The sub rosa, the hidden things. I really wouldn't be surprised if this feels more like your life and purpose than your 9 to 5 or your family life or, your friends and social life and career and, all the things that we do to kind of uphold these higher places of thinking and spiritual work. And so I feel like this is kind of a return to that work where maybe you have in the past years been kind of distracted. Something in your life has kind of changed. Things have resorted themselves a bit. And I think that this is part of that death energy. I wonder if maybe, like a relationship ended or somebody close to you maybe passed away or, maybe some kind of tower moment happened. Maybe your living situation changed suddenly or, something like this. And I feel like you really have had to kind of take inventory and reassess, like, what am I doing? How am I living? Is this it for me, right? Am I happy just kind of getting up, going to work, raising a family, or, kind of indulging in your mundane life, kind of maybe on autopilot sometimes, and so on, which none of these things are bad, right? I'm not putting any kind of value on if living a life like this is, a positive or a negative, right? It's different for each of us. And, even those of us who are very devoted to our spiritual work, our magical path, or, whatever you want to call it, we all go through periods of time, right? Where we're very much in that earthy place. We're going through the motions of the mundane life, right? And it can feel quite profane at times, of course. And it can feel almost kind of smothering, because you get stuck in there and it's hard to find the inspiration or that thing that, that jolt of life that kind of, shakes you out of your slumber. But I do feel like for you, something has come along and reminded you, hey, you're not just here to, pay bills and put food on the table and, and hopefully try to, keep your body going as long as possible, but, doing the same thing every single day, right? Again, nothing wrong with that, but I do feel like for you, that you have more to do. That you have a reason to be here. You've chosen to be here. And so I do feel this calling, and I feel you really heeding that call, right? Getting back to it, getting back into your practices, your spiritual routines. And I feel like the universe is really opening up to you. You are noticing, those synchronicities, those patterns, that kind of thing. Now, we have, it looks like it says Lex, L-E-X. It also looks like it says Jet or Let. J-E-T-L, or maybe L-E-T. I'm looking at kind of, so I don't know if you know Alex or if this, or Let, or somebody named Jet maybe, but these names, now this one says Hill, H-I-L-L. So I almost kind of feel like this is like from your childhood. We have two people kind of looking over water in the center. I almost kind of imagine like a little pond or something, or playing in water, or like one of those little kiddie pools or something. But it does feel like you're being drawn backwards. Not permanently, right? Like you're not living in the past, but I feel like there's something here where it's like an old, like maybe people you played with, maybe kids you grew up with on the block, or cousins or something. But I feel like there's something going on there. Now we also have the number 6121. 6121. So I don't know. I'm going to wait to see if there's anything else about it. But it feels like little images, like it's beginning. Maybe you've been having dreams about this period of your life. Maybe you are working and processing through some old things and these memories are coming up. Or, but it feels so very close, right? Like it feels like, for some reason I'm getting this image of like ducking down, like you're inside by a window and somebody's knocking on the window, looking inside to see if you're there, and you're ducking down, kind of hiding, right? And so I don't know, it feels very fragmented, but I almost wonder if, there was something that transpired that caused you to be afraid of these kids, or maybe you're playing a game, hide and seek or something like this. Or, maybe there was just a day where, you decided, I don't want to play with them anymore. Maybe you were getting older, or they were getting older, or, they were into something else and you weren't into that anymore, or whatever. But it feels like this turning point, this moment where things aren't going to be like they used to be. Okay, so I don't know exactly what that is, but if it resonates, let me know. Okay, so we also have the crab right there. So we have the crab, we have a little smiley face. We also have, it looks like a jumping dolphin right there as the eye of that face. So we have a real intense psychic energy. This is in the left eye, okay? The left eye. So this is one that is going to be very much about finding a balance of your intuition and that rational thinking that I know that you're so good at, trying to logic it all out, right? Finding a balance and allowing yourself to move off of what you already know, what you already understand, but maybe that is not in the front of your mind yet. So that is your intuition, and learning to trust that more than you already do. Now, we also have the letter K, okay? The letter K. Now we have a bird that looks like it's relieving itself right here. So we know the bird is the messenger. I almost kind of feel like this maybe is somebody who is taking something you said and twisting it in a way that doesn't represent what you were trying to communicate. It might be out of context. It might just be like misheard or exaggerated or, whatever. It feels like it's not necessarily malicious, but maybe a little bit sloppy, right? Maybe it's just like they weren't listening and they're telling people the wrong information or whatever. I feel anxiety around this for you, okay? So when this occurs, when this kind of comes up, I think it's going to be important for you to not just like let it go and let people, believe what they believe or, have the information that they received. But I think correcting, whatever it was that was kind of misinterpreted or whatever, and being proactive about that. Okay. I don't think it's that you're like getting on the defensive and you're angry or anything of that nature, but I think it's kind of like the anxiety of thinking that people are out there believing something that is not exactly the right thing. And so just making sure that that gets sorted out. Okay, we're going to do our 3 lucky numbers. Number 28. Number 11. Number 91. Okay, 3 lucky numbers. Now we have our self-care affirmation cards, and I'm just going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. It says, Enchanted encounter. I am surrounded by friends, family, animals, and nature. I connect with the world around me, and I am nurtured by these enchanted encounters. I am loved and accepted within my community. I am not alone. I am not alone. All right, Cancer, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, that helps the channel a lot. Also, if you want to subscribe or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. And yeah. We have a little break in our cold weather. It feels like spring outside. I was just outside, just taking in all the beautiful, cool air. Not freezing air, cool air. It's like 25 degrees. It feels so warm today. But I hope that you're warm wherever you are, unless you're in the southern hemisphere. I hope you're staying cool. I hope it's not too hot down there. And yeah, other than that, we're going to talk in a few days. I love you. Be safe. Take care of each other. We'll talk soon. Good night.